Hello and welcome. I'm Dawn, and tonight I'll be guiding you through a sleep hypnosis journey called The Lantern in the Forest. In this session, you'll be invited to relax deeply, let the day begin to fade, and enter a gentle inner world where the path ahead may seem dim at first, but where a quiet light begins to appear. This journey is for those times when your mind feels busy, when you've been overthinking, second-guessing, or trying to work out everything at once. And if all of that sounds a bit familiar, you're very much not alone. Tonight's meditation is designed to help you step away from all that mental noise and reconnect with a calmer, wiser, steadier part of yourself. The part of you that doesn't need panic to find the way forward. As the journey unfolds, you may imagine yourself walking through an enchanted forest, holding a lantern that responds not to pressure, not to fear, and not to overthinking, but to truth. And while the story is symbolic, the shift it can create inside can be very real. There is nothing you need to do perfectly as you listen. You don't need to force relaxation. You don't need to follow every word. You don't need to stay awake until the end. You can simply get comfortable, allow my voice to wash over you, and let your mind take from this recording whatever is most useful for you. Some people listen closely for a while and then drift. Some people float in and out of the words. Some people fall asleep quite quickly. And all of that is completely fine. And because this is a sleep hypnosis recording, please only listen when you can relax safely, somewhere comfortable, somewhere where you won't be disturbed, and never whilst driving or doing anything that needs your full attention. So when you're ready, let yourself settle in, allow your body to be supported, and let the weight of the day begin to soften and fall away. And perhaps as you rest here tonight, you may begin to discover that even when the path ahead feels unclear, there is still a light within you, still a quieter wisdom, still a part of you that knows you do not need to see the whole way forward to take the next gentle step. So when you're ready, we'll begin. Tonight, you don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know exactly what comes next. You don't need to solve your whole life before you sleep. You don't need to untangle every thought before rest is allowed. Tonight, you can step out of all of that. You can let the questions loosen. You can let the pressure ease. You can let the mind stop trying so hard to force certainty, as certainty isn't needed in this moment. Because this moment is not for figuring everything out. This moment is for softening, for breathing, for settling, for sleep. So just begin by allowing yourself to get comfortable. Let your body be supported. Let the muscles in your face soften. Let your shoulders drop a little more. Let your hands rest easily. Let your chest and stomach move naturally with each breath. Let your legs grow heavier. And without needing to change anything, simply notice the breath you're already breathing. The rise, the fall, the easy rhythm that continues, even when you stop managing it. And perhaps with each breath out, you can imagine the busyness of the day draining away. All the little decisions, all the unfinished thoughts, all the moments of wondering, all the second guessing, all the things you were meant to sort out, all the things you felt you should have handled better. All the little mental loops that try to pull you back in. Let them drift a little further away now. Not because they don't matter, but because they don't need your attention here. There will be time for what needs time. But for now, there is rest. And as you rest, you may begin to notice that behind closed eyes, somewhere in the quiet space of your deeper mind, a path is beginning to appear. A narrow path at first, soft beneath your feet, silent, gentle. And along the edge of the path, there are small lanterns glowing faintly, as though the evening has just arrived and the world is preparing itself for the night. You may remember this path, or perhaps it feels new, or perhaps it feels strangely familiar, in the way some inner places do, as though you've always known them without fully knowing that you knew. And as you become aware of this path, You may imagine yourself standing at its beginning once again. Not as a tired part of you that carried all the noise of the day. Not as the part that doubts itself. Not as the part that worries about getting it wrong. But as a deeper self. The calmer self. The wiser self. The hero within. And perhaps by now, you're beginning to understand that this hero is not some polished ideal. Not someone who never feels uncertain. Not someone untouched by fear. Not someone who moves through life with the perfect answer to everything. No. The hero within is quieter than that. The hero within is the part of you that remains when panic is no longer in charge. The part of you that can pause. The part of you that can breathe. The part of you that can listen. The part of you that knows that not all thoughts are wise, simply because they're loud. And tonight, that wiser part of you is here again. Steady, kind, present. So you begin to walk, slowly, comfortably, one easy step at a time. The air is cool. The sky is a deep velvet blue. And the path leads you onward with no need to rush. Each step carries you further from the clutter of the waking mind. Further from pressure. Further from noise. Further into the calm, deep place within, where things do not need to be forced. And as you continue, the landscape begins to change. The path becomes even narrower. The trees begin to gather more closely. Tall, ancient trunks rise around you. Branches arch overhead. Leaves whisper softly in the evening air. You have entered a forest. Beautiful forest. Quiet. Still. Mysterious. And yet as you walk deeper in, you notice that the light begins to fade. A silver mist drifts between the trees. The path becomes less obvious. The way forward less clear. And perhaps some part of you recognizes this feeling at once. Because there are moments in life that feel just like this forest. Moments when the way ahead is not obvious. Moments when the mind wants certainty but cannot find it. Moments when every possible path seems to come with questions. Moments when you wonder whether you're doing the right thing, saying the right thing, choosing the right thing, being the right kind of person. And when that happens, the mind can become very noisy. One thought pulling one way, another thought pulling the other. A memory, a fear, a what if, a maybe, a should, a shouldn't, a plan, a doubt, another doubt for good measure. Because the mind does love a bit of drama at times, doesn't it? Trying to convince you that if you just think hard enough, long enough, anxiously enough, you will finally arrive at perfect clarity. And yet so often, that is not what happens. The harder the mind strains, the thicker the mist can seem. The more you demand instant answers, the less you hear what is quietly true. So now, in this forest, let yourself stop walking for a moment. Just pause. Stand among the trees. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Notice the mist. Notice the dimness. Notice whatever part of you is tempted to tense up and get busy. And instead of following the old habit tonight, the hero within does something different. The hero within becomes still, breathes, listens. And in that stillness, something begins to glow in the distance. A soft light, warm and golden, not harsh, not blinding, not demanding, just there. A gentle light moving slowly towards you through the mist. And as it comes closer, you see that it's a lantern. An old lantern of beautiful design, simple and elegant, carried not by another person, but somehow arriving as though the forest itself has offered it to you. So reach out now, in whatever way feels right, and take the lantern in your hand. Feel its gentle weight. It's warm. Its quiet steadiness. And as soon as you hold it, you sense something about it. This is no ordinary lantern. This lantern doesn't brighten when you force it. It doesn't respond to panic. It doesn't grow stronger just because you've analysed every angle until you're worn out by your own thinking. No. This lantern responds to truth. And at first, perhaps that surprises you. Because truth is often much quieter than fear. Fear shouts. Truth tends to speak in a more sensible tone. Fear says, "What if everything goes wrong?" Truth says, "You don't know that." Fear says, "You must work it all out now." Truth says, "Not everything is meant to be solved in one night." Fear says, "If you can't see the whole path, you shouldn't move." Truth says, "You only need to take the next step." And as you stand there holding this lantern, perhaps you begin to understand that your way through this forest will not come from trying harder. It will come from listening deeper. So now, the hero within speaks gently into the quiet. And perhaps the first truth is simply this: I don't need to know everything tonight. And as those words settle inside you, the lantern glows a little brighter. The path just ahead becomes visible. Only a few steps, not the whole forest, not the whole journey, just enough. And there is something very calming about that. Because perhaps you were never meant to see the whole future all at once. Perhaps there'll be far too much paperwork for the nervous system. Perhaps life has always revealed itself a little at a time. So you walk forward with the lantern, and after a few steps, the mist thickens again. Not because you're doing it wrong, just because that is how this forest works. And again the mind is tempted. What if I lose my way? What if I choose the wrong turn? What if I can't trust myself? What if I miss something important? And once more, the hero within pauses, breathes, listens. And another truth rises. I am allowed to move gently. The lantern brightens again. More of the path appears. Roots, soft moss, a curve between the trees, a cluster of silver leaves catching the light. And perhaps now you begin to realise that guidance rarely appears through self-pressure. It comes when the pressure softens enough for you to hear what's already there. So you continue walking. One step, then another. Lantern in hand, breathing steady, body growing heavier and more relaxed with every moment. And as you move deeper into the forest, you may begin to hear sounds around you. Not frightening sounds, just echoes of an overbusy mind given shape in the trees. A whisper here, a question there, a branch creaking like an old worry, leaves rustling like old thoughts circling through the mind again and again. And perhaps some of the whispers are familiar. Be careful. Don't get it wrong. You should know by now. What if you fail? What if people see? What if you trust the wrong thing? What if you trust yourself and your instinct is wrong? And once again, the hero within does not engage with every whisper. There is no need. Instead, the hero within remembers what the lantern has already taught. Truth first. So holding the lantern close, perhaps you speak another truth. Not every fearful thought is wise. And immediately the lantern glows brighter still. A warm circle of light expands around you. The whispers grow softer. Not gone completely perhaps, but quieter, less convincing, less important. Because once fear is seen clearly, much of its illusion begins to fade. And now the path opens a little more. You come to a small stream running through the forest, dark and smooth beneath the light of the lantern. There are stepping stones in the water, enough to help you cross. And as you stand there, you may sense that this stream marks a threshold. On one side, old confusion. On the other, deeper trust. And perhaps before crossing, another truth begins to deepen. I can trust myself one step at a time. Not because I will never stumble. Not because I will always know exactly what to do. Not because every step will go to plan. but because I can learn. I can adjust. I can begin again wiser than before. And that is how real confidence is built. And as that truth settles into the body, the lantern glows brighter still. Now it's bright enough to reflect in the water, bright enough to light the stones, bright enough to show clearly where your foot can land. So step across now. One stone, then another, then another. Slowly, safely, steadily. And with each step, you may feel yourself crossing not only a stream in the forest, but also crossing out of an old way of living inside your own mind. The old way that believed pressure creates clarity. The old way that thought more worry meant more control. The old way that kept asking for certainty before allowing peace. And on the far side of the stream, the forest begins to feel different. The trees are still there. The mist is still there in places. But now there is more space between things. The air feels softer. The silence friendlier. And you realize something very important. You were not lost. You were overwhelmed by noise. You were not broken. You were listening to too many frightened voices all at once. You did not need more panic. You needed a quieter relationship with your own truth. And perhaps now, the lantern seems almost to pulse gently in your hand, as though it is pleased that you understand. So you continue on. The path rises slightly now, leading towards a faint clearing ahead. Moonlight filters through the trees. The mist thins. The forest opens. And as you step into the clearing, you see a wide, still space, bathed in silver and gold. The ground beneath you feels steady and calm. Around you, ancient stone pillars stand like silent guardians. Above you, the sky opens wide, scattered with stars. In the centre of the clearing, there is a stone seat, or perhaps a bed of moss, or perhaps a simple sheltered place that feels exactly right. And you know at once that this is a place of rest. A place where nothing is demanding an answer from you. A place where you do not need to make a decision right now. A place where the deeper self can simply be. So allow yourself to settle there. Place a lantern beside you. Notice how softly it glows now. Not glaring, not forcing, just steady. And perhaps now, as you rest in this clearing, the hero within leaves you with a few truths to carry into sleep. I don't need forced clarity. I don't need to solve everything tonight. I'm allowed to pause. I'm allowed to listen. I'm allowed to move forward one step at a time. Not every thought deserves my attention. Not every fear deserves my obedience. There is wisdom in me that speaks more quietly and more truly. And the more I soften, the more clearly I hear it. Let those truths drip through you now. Not as something you have to memorize. Not as something to get right. Just as gentle reminders settling into the deeper mind. And perhaps somewhere inside, you begin to understand that the lantern was never entirely separate from you. It came from within the forest, yes, but the forest is within you too. The lantern is simply the light of your own deeper knowing. The part of you that remains when panic steps back. The part of you that does not need to perform wisdom because it already carries it quietly. The part of you that knows life is lived one real step at a time, not all at once inside the imagination. So now, you can rest here, in the clearing, in the quiet, with the lantern beside you. And if there are questions still unanswered, let them remain unanswered for now. Some things become clearer after rest. Some things untangle in their own time. Some things don't need a grand solution. Only a softer mind, a steadier heart, and a little space. Tonight, space is enough. Tonight, rest is enough. Tonight, it is enough to know that, even when the path is dim, you are not abandoned. Even when the mist is thick, you are not without guidance. Even when the mind is noisy, there is still a quieter truth within you. And as you drift deeper now, perhaps the lantern continues to glow gently at your side, warm and faithful, lighting only what is needed. No more, no less. Just enough for peace. Just enough for trust. Just enough for sleep. So let your body grow heavier now. Let your jaw soften. Let your forehead smooth. Let your shoulders sink. Let the breath become slower and easier. And allow yourself to drift. Further down. Further in. Further away from all the noise that never needed to come with you here. There is only the clearing now. The soft night air. The stars above. The lantern beside you. And the calm, wise part of you, keeping watch without effort. You don't need to think your way to peace. You can rest your way there. And while you sleep, the lantern remains steady, gentle, true, lighting the next step when the next step is needed. But for now, there is nothing more to do. Only sleep. Sleep in softness. Sleep in safety. Sleep in quiet trust. And as you drift further and further, deeper and deeper, the clearing holds you. The forest grows peaceful around you. And the lantern of truth glows on through the night. Until even the words can fade. And all that remains is rest.